Hello, I'm David Goldsmith, and welcome to the Goldsmith Institute. For the next few minutes, I'd like you to rethink the concept that people are the most important part of an organization. I know this is going to sound counterintuitive, but bear with me as I'm going to make the case that if you rethink the concept, you'll be able to solve challenges faster and create opportunities in ways you never thought possible. Let's start by traveling back to 1897 with Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto. And here's a picture of Vilfredo. He had come up with the concept of the vital few, which meant that 20% of the population owned 80% of the wealth. Then if we fast forward to 1998, Richard Koch wrote the book The 80-20 Principle. And in it, he adapted the concept and said 80% of the outputs come from 20% of the inputs. He also said that this does not only happen in business, but in virtually every aspect of life. I'm going to take this one step further and introduce you to the Goldsmith productivity principle, commonly known as the GPP, and that's what I'll use for the rest of this video. The GPP says 80% of an organization's ability to compete and perform is based on the systems and structure in place, and 20% through its people. I'll give you the details as we move forward. But let me add one caveat to this. This does not say that people are not important. People are extremely important in running and building an organization. But this is a tool that will enable you to make better decisions so that you can strategize faster and more accurately when solving challenges and creating opportunities. Let me start by giving you two personal scenarios that might be able to help you understand the concept, and then we'll move into some real-life situations. Let's start with the first scenario. Let's picture you. You're at work. You do a great job at what you do. But one day you show up at work and all access to every computer, every piece of data has been turned off. You have no cell phone, you have no BlackBerry, you have no PDA, you have no laptop, no access to your server, and you can't look over anybody else's shoulders. The question is, how productive would you be? Now, some of you might say, I'd be extremely productive. But you probably have had trouble getting your email for a few hours and realized you were down. So not having access or not having the systems and structure in place to give you the information that you're looking for can quickly eliminate your ability to perform. Let's jump to another scenario, scenario number 2. Let's picture you're in a car and you're in a minivan and you're about to race Mario Andretti, the #1 race car driver of all time. You're at the starting line, your engines are roaring, and I bet you're thinking, there's no way I'm going to beat Mario. Obviously, he's a better driver, he's skilled at this, and he's in a Formula 1 race car. There's no way you'll win. But as the gun goes off, you start to accelerate right past Mario. The reason being is Mario has no tires. Now, even though Mario is the highest performing race car driver, missing one piece of the puzzle, tires, one piece of the systems and structure, disables him enough that he can't even compete with you. Same holds true in an organization. Systems and structure are the place you look first. So let me give you a few examples. Let's say you take an airplane and put a chair in row 8, and now you have to board 200 passengers. Or you have to serve them food. How productive would you be if the designers had put a row going all the way across so that you couldn't get back and forth if you were one of the flight attendants? Let's imagine that you have a pair of scissors that are dull and you own a hair salon and everybody has to cut with dull scissors. You'd be less productive in terms of time frame, and you'd also probably produce less quality results. Now picture having 200 of these people working with dull scissors. Yeah, one last example, and then we'll get on to some bigger picture examples in the real world. Let's say you're a camera crew filming a movie, and your cameras are taken away. How productive will you be? So let me take you one step further to bigger situations that are real-life scenarios so that you might be able to grasp this a step further. I was working with the Social Security Administration a few years back, and they had a challenge of unmotivated employees. They actually were spending $300,000 US to be able to motivate these employees to perform better. Well, my approach to speaking is always to do interviews. And the interviews that I was conducting, I ran into the same story being told over and over again. individuals would say that their computers go down 2 to 3 times every day and upwards of 2 to 3 hours. Now picture this, you're sitting at your desk, you're working hard, you have goals to achieve or deadlines to meet, and your computer goes down. You stop, you have 2 hours to talk with people, you're obviously going to talk about the problems you have, but compounding this is that the organization required you to get the same amount of work done. The challenge is that the individuals consider their desk to have a time bomb on it. And that's my picture of a time bomb. That every day they'd have this challenge. My solution was easy. Fix the computers first, then find out if there's a challenge or an issue with the employees. And I doubt it would be as aggressive as needed $300,000 to motivate the employees. They'd be motivated if they had the tools. Let's jump over to H.R. Hatwar in India. He's the head of the meteorological department, and he's responsible for delivering forecasts, accurate forecasts for weather, droughts, monsoons, typhoons, and he's been struggling to do this or deliver the information accurately for years. Problem was he really didn't have many tools. He was still using papers to be able to, and maps to be able to forecast his projections. The significance is in India, here's my India, there are over 600 million farmers. You heard me right, 600 million farmers, which contributes 18% to GDP, and any error that he produces can give a plus or minus 2% to the GDP. That's pretty significant. Well, the leadership in India has decided to make a significant investment of $620 million to the department by giving India 1,000 water stations and 2,000 precipitation stations to be able to measure the waterfall. Now what's significant about this is they're not changing HR and the department staff. They're giving them the systems and structure to be able to make those decisions. What does this mean to you? Let's give you the 50,000-foot view. 80% of the results of an organization come from the systems and structure in place and not the people. 20% comes from the people. That means that the more, if you focus first on the systems and structure, if you have a challenge that comes up or an opportunity, looking at robotics or automation or the steps, the mechanisms that you've built first, you'll get higher returns. Now the question then becomes, or the real issue, remember I said that people are important, is that there's a group of people who make the decision for what systems and structure are put in place. And that's the leadership. Leadership designs the systems and structure. That's their job. By doing this properly, you give the other people, the other part of the 20%, the empowerment to be able to do their job well. You take a talented artist and you don't give them the tools to be able to perform, they can't succeed. You give someone in operations the responsibility of taking care of a warehouse and you don't give them forklifts, you don't give them the warehouse space or docking stations, they can't perform. So leadership is extremely important in deciding on the systems and structure, and once you do that, you plug in your talent. That's where the employees or the group or the individuals are important to the 80-20 rule. So let me give you a few tips that might help you out. I'm not saying that if you increase structure or decrease structure, you'll end up with positive returns in each time. For example, Miramax put cost controls in to run their organization, and they drastically inhibited innovation. So your returns are not always based upon increasing systems and structure and getting better returns, but finding a balance. It's also creating the right systems and structure. Leadership that makes the wrong decisions about projects or implementation or strategy could end up going in a completely wrong direction, inhibiting someone's ability to be able to perform. Third, always secure great people. Great people in leadership, great people to perform in that 20% will make all the difference in the world. So you're not looking to hold back on the quality of your talent, just realizing that if you look at the systems and structure first, you'll be able to amplify their ability to perform. And last, someone will always create the GPP if they're going to be successful. Think about it in this way. You have a group of individuals who show up to perform a task and leadership has not done their job. There are basically two options. One of them is they will build the systems and structure and succeed doing your job in leadership. Or what they'll do is they won't do anything and you won't get the GPP that you're looking for to get the desired outcomes you're looking to achieve. Now there's a lot more to this, but I'm giving you the overview so you have a better understanding of the tool that you have in your toolbox to look for the GPP first before you blame or point fingers so that you can make sure that you're moving in the right direction. This is a great tool for creating opportunity as well as solving challenges. So stop hugging and kissing your people. Look at the GPP first. You can reach me at david@davidgoldsmith.com. I'm always available, and here's my phone number to be able to reach me. These are our websites, and if you're looking to connect with us, take a look. Some of them are currently under production, but we're finishing them up as we speak. Good luck.